The dream started 6 years ago. We own a catering company, quite successful it was. And in the month of February, it was not the busiest time. So then we always traveled for 1 month. And most of the time we went to Asia. And at that time, the flight tickets were quite expensive to Asia. So we searched on Africa and we found a quite cheap business class ticket to Namibia. We said, okay, let's go to Namibia. Let's rent a car over there and see what's going to happen. So we rented an overland vehicle, a rental car 4x4 Hilux. And the moment we arrived in Namibia, we were hooked. It was amazing. We loved it. And it was a trip of 3.5 weeks. Drove 6,000 kilometers. Go from Namibia to Botswana and back to Namibia. Didn't see a lion, didn't see anything, but it was amazing. We loved it. What hooked us was the freedom, the wideness. The first thing that I really mentioned was the silence. There was nothing around us. There was no trace of humans. And we were standing there and we heard nothing. And in our country, we live in one of the most busiest countries in the world. That's not going to happen. Back in our rat race, we say, okay, next year we're going again to Africa. We're planning a next trip. Our daughter was coming with us and we went to Uganda. Totally different experience than Namibia and Botswana. But also amazing. It was more, let's say, hardcore Africa. The people are more poor over there, but so friendly. It's much more crowded. But also that vibe we loved a lot. To make the decision, at that time we didn't make a decision because our company in the Netherlands did really well and we didn't have a plan to set up something in Africa or go for a longer time or buy our own truck. The only plan was we go back to Africa every year because we like it a lot. That decision came when COVID started. That was the game changer. Because we run a catering company, our agenda at the moment that we get a lockdown, our agenda was empty. At that time, we have to think to each other, we say to each other, okay, what are we going to do now? The goal for the future is that we have to fire all our employees, we have to start all over again. We worked 15 years really hard. I said, I don't have the energy for that. Maybe this is the time to follow our dream, but what is the dream? And then Africa, because it was a topic in our life, we say, okay, yeah, it needs to be Africa, but how? that moment was the point. So in the catering company, our employees, we selected them already to be owner of our company. And they were enthusiastic, even there was a COVID time. We make it to finance it a bit by ourselves, they get some money from the bank, so we make it roll. And they're still rolling and they're doing really well at the moment. So we're really happy with that. For them and for us, that's a good point. But then the point came for us from, okay, what we're going to do in Africa. So first we apply for some management positions from a lodge organization. But then we find out there was no position because COVID was there. And we find out also, okay, we're really entrepreneurs. If we have to work for a management, it's not going to work, especially in Africa. We have to write for everything a report. That's not how we handle. So that was not the plan. So then the plan started, okay, let's buy a car and travel for a half year around in Africa. And let's find out if we can find some opportunities to start a business. That's done. We bought a car, contacted Paul to help us to sort out the car. Because we had a dream. Nancy is a yoga teacher, also a pastry chef. I'm a savory chef. So we said, okay, let's combine safari, cooking and yoga. So the plan was travel around, make some food for overlanders or campers, give a yoga lesson on the road, find out if we can make some money with that, organize trips that we combine, that you can do a self-drive trip, we're the chefs on the road. Nancy can do some mindfulness. And on that road we find out it's not gonna work because there were no self-drivers due to the COVID time. So we were all alone, and that was amazing. That the nature was beautiful, it was so quiet, it was lovely at the time. And at that time I met a couple, Jen and Jay Road. It's a South African couple. She is an aerial photographer and he is the pilot of the small plane. And together they travel around in Africa and making beautiful pictures. And they released a beautiful book, it's amazing. So I said to Jen, okay, nice you have a plane, but I want to fly over the Okavango Delta. So yeah, we did that with Jen. We make a scenic flight over the Delta and it was amazing. And they're starting up a safari business that people can learn aerial photography with them. But the people need to stay in lodges. So what they reach the lodges to say, okay, can we work together with you? And from that, we had a plan for Botswana specialists. We said, okay, we have to do something with it. We're gonna offer trips, self-driving, combining with lodge overnights. And from there, Botswana specialist was born. The way we want to live our life, when we owned the catering company, it was a rat race. And when you're in a company, you're running, and you only want to get more and more and more, and you don't think about what else can I do, because you have the company, you have a responsibility for your employees, and to be in the bush, like bush cooking, it gives a feeling of independence. In the middle of nowhere, there's no one around. We have everything we needed in the car, all the spices, all the stuff, all the groceries. We have the best barbecue in the world we can use. We make our own sourdough bread every day on the green egg. And when we're there, I can describe the feeling. It's such a feeling of freedom. I think you can only experience it when you do it by yourself. I cannot bring it on the words. I love my life before, but when I look back now, I was running all the time and I wasn't conscious of the things around me. And now I'm much more conscious about the things we have. We have the freedom from the car over here, you know, that's when we're in the Netherlands, we always know, okay, we're only 11 hours away from an adventure when we take the flight. The car is there and it's always ready to go, and we can go where we want in Africa. You know, when you have a passion for something and you really believe in it, or that is the part that's really going to make you happy, it will work out. Don't get led by fear. You know, that is so important. Most of the fears are, okay, when you're walking in the bush and there's a lion in front of you, okay, then it's okay that you have fear. But all the other fears, it's in your mind. It's a mindset. It's not for real. And you have to be creating, seeing opportunities, because we are entrepreneurs, we're always seeing opportunities. You have to be brave sometimes. Go connecting with people. Don't sit, when you're sitting in front of your car, nothing's gonna happen. But when you're gonna meet people and when you're gonna interact, then life is gonna happen, you know? That's life for us.
Thank you so much for joining us on our journey, sharing our films and following us. And if you would like to see more, please click on the link below and we'd love you to contribute through Patreon.